Okay, so this video examines the effects of using various values for our starting capital. Now we're using £100,000 because this is what experience shows us to be is the minimum necessary requirements in order to achieve our goal of 6 properties in the portfolio and a value of £1 million in 6 years. That's obviously dependent on the other parameters. The key one is value of the property, open market value. We'll come to that in a separate video, but in our area of operations 120,000 is reasonable. So let's just have a look and see what happens if you've got less than £100,000. So the key figures to follow in the table, I mean they'll all change as we change these figures, and it's worth pausing the video if you like, or using your own copy of the tool to check out these various figures. But what we're really looking at is the number of properties we achieve in the 6-year cycle and the average return on the capital employed for the 6 years. Okay, so in our standard setup we're looking at having 6 houses, 6 properties in the portfolio, and an average return over the 6 years of 34.07%. So effectively, in numbers terms, because we've employed £100,000, what we're saying is over the 6 years we've received an average of £34,000 increase in value each year. Okay, now it's important to realise the £100,000 does not have to come from your own resources. A lot of investors do use what we term other people's money, and that's a separate subject. I'm getting hold of that. But anyway, just bear in mind, if you don't have £100,000 sitting in your bank doing nothing right now, that's not going to stop you from building a portfolio if you want to. Let's just see what happens if you've only got £50,000 available. Okay, well, as you see, you can still buy property, but because we're looking at momentum investments where we're using the increase in equity to generate sufficient asset value for us to borrow against in order to release the deposit for the next property, it's actually not until year 6 that we can afford to buy our second property. Now this tool doesn't extend beyond 6 years. It doesn't extend beyond 10 properties either, just a matter of interest. But just bear in mind, you could still build a portfolio starting with 50k, but it would take a lot longer, much longer. Conversely, if you've got more than 100k available and you want to invest it all into your property, you can get a flying start. With these figures, you can actually purchase 5 properties in the first year, and then you're up to your 10 properties by year 5. When we've got to 10 properties, the years beyond, these figures are unreliable. You should ignore these. You will have 10 plus properties in year 6. We might extend the tool later to take it out to further years, but depends on demand really. Okay, but the other important result is our return on capital employed. So we're still making 24% plus when we start off with £200,000. So it's 24% of £200,000 that our portfolio is increasing by. Just a reminder, the £100,000, we're looking at 34%. Does that make it a sweet spot? Not necessarily. When you look deeper into the mathematics, you'll find out what's really happening. But anyway, that's the main effect of starting capital available.